fan. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen.
Greetings.
Everybody's picked Aurora to win this game because Talon's game ones have been horrific. But something I will say, a nice adjustment, at least that I've seen, Cinder, is the 23 Savage Doom. He's played it before, but not really in game ones. This is like a hero that can actually get somewhat active early. It's not like this Morphling that just sits AFK farming. You lose your lanes, you just lose the game.
Yeah.
I like this adjustment for Talon. I give him a better shot.
I feel like, so from the panel's perspective, I'm really with them. The Gyro was the obvious and amazing pick in that slot, and I think the reason Talon did not go for it is that would have forced their their Doom to lane against Undying, which is a lane matchup that's horrible. And you've seen WS in this tournament pop off. You don't want to give him that bad of a matchup, so they're actually willing to pass up on the Gyro for that reason, I'm assuming, because 23 Savage is more than capable of playing a great Gyrocopter. It's one of his better heroes, but. Yeah, at this point, as you said, they will avoid that said matchup by putting the carry Doom, unless if Aurora were just to swap lanes, potentially. For now, they're starting with Techies and Beastmaster showing up top and Panto on backup here on the high ground, maybe thinking about a first blood. Not gonna get it just yet. And I'm curious to see if he's gonna TP bottom or if they'll actually do some sort of shenanigans. No. All right, so crisis averted in that regard from Talon. They do not have to lane their Doom against Dying. And we're off to the races with standard lanes.
Yeah, and I do like to see WS on Enigma. We've seen the position 5 just be disastrous. As long as they can get to the mid-game, Cinder, without a huge deficit, I feel like this team can really pop off. Of course, Aurora, the most recent games we've been casting of theirs, they've been a little bit more consistent. They've been more disciplined, less throwy, if you want to put that word out there. Especially on this young lad, Mr. Kiyotaka. Has looked like a different person. He's looked like the modern-day GPK.
He went through the recent replays and figured out, oh, it's better to do what?
Better not to die 16 times.
Seems like new GPK is better than old GPK. I'll mimic the new one then, I guess. Yeah, for me, I know we've been harping on this a lot, but honestly, the biggest question mark for me here is, are Talon going to play well in game 1? I don't even really care that much about the drafts, because in the games that Talon have lost as game 1 of the day, I don't really think they've been, like, brutally outpicked in those games, but they just got run over, as if they needed to wake up, and bottom lane needs to wake up right now.
All right, Nightfall, first blood for Aurora.
Can they break that curse? We saw the stats from Brian. Stats don't lie. We've had 3 games in this group stage 2 where game 1 for Talon just goes terribly wrong, and then they bounce back in a big way in game 2. Which, the good news is, if this game is to go wrong for Talon, they've clearly already shown that they're able to bounce back in series. So I'm not really worried for them if they lose the first game, even if it's very one-sided. I just think it would be very healthy to see them do well at the start of the day.
At what point does it get into your head as a player that you're not performing particularly well in game 1s?
I don't know how much they've noticed.
You don't think so?
I'm not sure how much they think about it.
Panto, he's getting gone on. This looks to be a kill going the way of Talon.
Enigma Shaman is a very strong lane. You have so much damage during Shaman's disables with all the Eidolons. If Nightfall doesn't have LSA to slow down those Eidolons as they go in and remove that damage, you can easily kill Undying with this type of lane.
Should mention mid lane, Makoto is dominating right now. 20-4 versus the 14 against Kiyotaka. So a really good start in the mid lane for Talon. And, oh, Tombstone placed, and that means Talon are going to have to exit as fast as they can, but the LSA did hit for Jokum. And the Innate's going to proc eventually here, but Panto should be able to run him down, and indeed that is the case. And Nightfall and company, they get the Lotus as well, and an additional LSA to WS, so dying a little bit earlier, and now stuck on very low HP. I mean, this lane is just disgusting for Aurora.
It's a cool lane to watch in general. I think this the Undying Lina is incredibly powerful, but Shaman and Enigma actually have counterplay, as we've already seen. I would definitely overall favor the Undying Lina lane. I think it's just a difficult lane to beat in Dota right now in general. But Talon have clearly thought about this and found an approach that is at the very least going to give their offlaner game. Like, imagine if this lane was Shaman Doom. I think they would be run over. So they've given themselves more of a fighting chance. And these Eidolons are just being destroyed by Nightfall. That is the big concern here. If they get LSA, they all just die to LSA, Dragon Slave, and a couple of attacks.
Yeah, and this carry Lina has been pretty successful in this tournament so far. Like the range carry has really catapulted itself in general.
Yeah.
I mean, what melee carry? Like Ursa has been pretty successful. There's a handful, but it does feel like it's majority ranged.
I think the best range carries we've seen in terms of success have been Ursa and Doom, right? Melee.
Yeah.
I don't know what else really comes to mind.
We have a Nightmare on Tamira, getting chased a bit, but 23 is getting a tad low, and the blast off actually hits him, but Mira does die first, so at the very least 23 Savage gets some XP advantage, but has to go back to base, and now Cuckoo getting chased down by Toronto Tokyo with plenty of resources to work with. This will be an eventual double kill for him.
He's going to get a really fast Helm of the Dominator. He's 400 gold away, minute 5.
Yeah, one of the scariest heroes in the early game if he gets off to a good start, for sure. So yesterday we were casting and Techies was picked. You're like, I don't really know why they picked it. Have any idea now, Syndra? Or what do you like or dislike about it?
I think the thing Misery was talking about is a really big part of this hero. I'm looking for mainly two things. I'm looking for, do you have good heroes to burst together with Blast Off? And can the enemy team remove remote mines? At the time they picked this, there was nothing that was good against the mines. Now you have Eidolons, which is at least something, but... And then, of course, we have the niche moments where Reactive Taser is good. Like, teams pick this as a counterpick to Elder Titan in lane, for example. But the vast majority, I would say, is a consideration of whether Blast Off is good. And, you know, you just have some players that really like this hero and make it work. They've probably scrimmed and had success.
Yeah, 6-minute power rune. It's bottom, so this is going to turn into a good old-fashioned fight here. Toss up. Blast Off actually hits both heroes, so Cuckoo will likely be the first to fall. Gets his Nightmare off. Makoto is level 6 now. He'll be able to zip and should ensure the rune for himself at the very least. And you can see the CS advantage still snowballing a bit in Makoto's favor. Let's see what they can do with this damage rune.
This is probably Talon's best first 7 minutes in a morning game.
Yeah, they look fine.
This seems manageable. I know that's kind of crazy to say. You're 1k down. It's not great, but it's also not terrible. It's just a feeling that this game, they're enabling their cores. Like, everybody will, as it looks, be able to have a game as long as you protect your wisdom, which is about to come up in 20 seconds. So, yeah, I think overall, Talon should be feeling pretty comfortable. But with what the panel said about Aurora's matchup in this game in general with the draft, my main concern for Talon here is if they don't activate Makoto correctly, if he has a couple of deaths or whatever, it is pretty greedy to run Doom Enigma, surely, right? Like, that is... It takes time. So as long as the early game is all right and you stay afloat, it's fine, but gotta be careful in the next 10 minutes to not let Aurora walk all over you when their heroes come online. Beastmaster with Dom, you get Tiny Blink, and then Carolina is more than capable of contributing to early fights.
You don't think Doom can contribute to early fights?
He can.
Versus like a Morphling that we've been seeing so much of?
For sure, but it's not one of those games where 23 Savage can just pop Scorched Earth and run into 4 heroes, right? He's just going to get roared or burst by Lina Tiny and die. And the Undying matchup is terrible for Doom. I stand by that. This hero hates Tombstone. He can't destroy it. He struggles with being attacked by the zombies. Decay is a problem as well.
Speaking of Undying, will be shackled under the tier 1.
Nice and easy pick here for Talon.
A little too easy. As the Nightmare
this is a bigger one.
TP. Nightfall. He's going to get zipped on, gets the LSA off, but he is in a 5 versus 1 as Makoto takes him out. A nice pick off for Talon.
Yeah, that's really good. They were destined to lose this top tower no matter what, so turning this into a trade plus 2 kills doesn't get much better than that. They didn't even have to use a big spell. They still have Black Hole. Of course, 23 Savage did have to rotate for this, so he will be slightly under-leveled against the Beastmaster, who was almost level 7. 23 Savage about to crack 6. He will immediately say mission accomplished and TP up top and start laning close to his tier 2 tower, which feels quite a bit safer, but now mid is the problem.
Kiyotaka, toss onto Makoto, but blast off not going to be in time. Good attempt from Aurora, but they will get grouped up here with the help of Toronto Tokyo, so trying to get these early towers on the Aurora side.
Standard Beastmaster stuff. take top tower with Helm of the Dominator, rotate mid, take mid tower with Helm of the Dominator. And of course, he has dominated the creep. The Dark Troll Summoner, currently playing with 6 stacks of Rally.
Love a rally.
It's really strong. Yeah, it was a good place. I loved it there too.
Cuckoo on the high ground. He is going to get roared, but the tree saves him. Sticky bomb not going to hit. He's sticking around though. Kiyotaka will get off the avalanche, and now it will be an easy kill onto Cuckoo. Trying to deny himself, but it is not to be. So Toronto Tokyo with his 3rd kill of the game already, 3-0. WS has his drums. What kind of build up for the Enigma did you want to see this game? Because the Roar, obviously, piercing BKB. We don't really see Lincolns almost ever, it feels like.
Yeah.
This hero.
I think Pipe's good here. Probably. Pipe or Crimson, or even both. Like, I don't know how important Black Hole is in this game compared to being able to just keep your teammates alive.
It does feel like Aurora is going to be used first. Like, Aurora has to use it pretty much, right? Where you can kind of be a little greedy with the Black Hole at times.
So you can play Blink BKB, wait for him to roar someone else, and then go. It's possible, but at the same time, if Toronto Tokyo is wary of that fact, he can reserve the roar and they can initiate with Tiny instead. Because if you're trading off the Beastmaster and Enigma, both hiding off away from the fight, Beastmaster at least can contribute with his summoned units, so he will still have impact, whereas if Enigma has to hide away, he does nothing. So you get more value out of your net worth and you can still counterplay.
Oh, Makoto, he runs into Toronto Tokyo.
Yeah, he's queuing up the pipe here in WS. I really like it. You could make a case for Crimson because of Beastmaster as well as Lena's right clicks, but I think the pipe is more inherent value against the burst. You want to make sure you survive the Tiny combo plus Laguna Blade. So I'm very much on board with this. Now, if he goes pipe, I'm not sure he should also get Crimson. I think you get one or the other, and then you start planning for the later portion of the game. But what effectively this pipe does, it helps you bridge the gap when the game gets scary. When Aurora would potentially just run at your tier 2 towers at 15-20 minutes, try to pressure you, fight for the objectives, the Tormentor, the Roshan. With a pipe, you stand much more of a fighting chance than with a Blink.
I'm still about 800 away for the Blink for Kiyotaka. As Toronto Tokyo grouped up by Mirror again. Tier 1's already taken though, so maybe just still only 11 minutes in the game. It does feel like it's a bit later than that, but
invisibility.
From the side of Aurora, Nightfall just about to finish his Maelstrom.
This is a paradox.
And the Helm of the Overlord, yep, that's it right there.
Okay.
Is almost finished for Toronto Tokyo. So a couple of big items about to align here for Aurora's side.
Yeah, Maelstrom, Overlord, Dagger. It'll be a pretty strong timing a minute from now. Perhaps we'll see a smoke. Obviously, now that the Tormentor is minute 15, minute 20 up from 15, the map play changes quite a bit. You're less likely to see aggression around that bottom area at this point. So likely Aurora will just keep playing top half more so.
Yeah, Makoto's been all over the power runes. He's gotten just about every single one of them.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Has the Kaya coming. 23 Savage, almost done with his Midas, which he'll use a couple times and then just sell for the Radiance and then buy the Midas again. The classic Doom.
Do you like that facet?
I think it's very cool conceptually. The problem is it's just, I don't know how you balance the other ones around it.
Yeah. Especially
at the high level, they're always going to go for the min-max, which will inevitably just be this one, right? And then if you lower the numbers too much, it's just not good.
Yep.
It's really, really hard to balance. But, I mean, what other hero? Like Gyrocopters I find interesting. It's not a facet, the innate, but you can take apart any item. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I do like it. So we have a smoke from Talon.
Not going to find anything yet.
Not initially, but Nightfall is on the way.
This boar is kind of giving away some movement here from Aurora. Now Makoto will break the smoke.
At the Avalanche toss.
Walking into Aurora.
23 Savage gets evaporated.
Oh
Laguna Blade destroys a Makoto as well. Oh boy. That is very bad news for Talon.
I think he genuinely might not have looked at his hero at that time, which is a lot of the time the correct thing to do is look ahead when you're playing Storm, because you want to see if there's targets to jump. But there was literally a Beastmaster just on top of him, roared him and killed him. He did no counterplay in that situation, so that's really not what you were looking for as Aurora, losing your two biggest cores.
Yep, and they smoked to try to find some more, it seems.
Yeah, they can also contest the Wisdom Shrine here, potentially. That's what Aurora maybe are hoping for, but not going for the full-on play onto it. So I think WS will get away with getting this one. But they're looping back in again.
Yeah, looking for Cuckoo, maybe? Avalanche. Toss back. Big zip from Makoto. They don't have to worry about Roar for the time being. Cuckoo is certainly dead as WS goes for the first black hole of the game. It's on Kiyotaka. Looks like they'll have enough damage, surely. I mean, Makoto has plenty of mana to finish the job. He'll do just that, but now has to use the rest to just exit as WS takes a blast off to the back. Double kill for Toronto Tokyo. 3 for 1. Wisdom Shrine's still here. So
oh, yeah, they never got it. Well, Makoto will get it.
He will.
Fortunately, he's alive to take it. So silver lining there that Talon didn't lose that in addition. But that was a very successful sequence for Aurora.
Radiant's middle tower is
When you add up all the numbers, that was a 5 for 1 when you consider the 2 kills they got prior to making the smoke. And obviously what even facilitated this to begin with was that they found those 2 kills in the top half.
Yeah.
And now in the second one, they didn't even have Roar. So they still have that if they wanted to go for another play right now. It seems like they'll be happy to just chill a little bit. Got a lot of value out of their fresh items. And by extension are up by about 3,000 gold right now. And now Nightfall should just be pulling ahead of everyone, and he should continue to grow at a faster rate than the Doom. I think Doom with level 4 Devour and Midas, probably, maybe you tie with Lina in farming speed, as crazy as that sounds. But this hero is top tier for a reason. When she's a carry, she farms ludicrously quickly.
Still looking for the first Doom of the game, I believe, as Panto shows himself. And
oh, there he is.
There it will be used.
Yeah, what a prediction.
So a kill is a kill.
He's back immediately.
Yep, back immediately thanks to that innate.
I would love to see a smoke here from Aurora if they have an invasive play to make. You just got Doom expended on your 5 Undying.
Oh, Serpent Wards are placed, but Kiyotaka there for the control. Jokum will not be able to get a trade, and now it's just going to be easy farm for Toronto Tokyo. He's going to eat up those Serpent Wards. As he is 7-0, just taken over this game as the Beastmaster.
Yeah, if this top move is successful as well, they might just get Roche. Cuckoo is
he's
already dead. Pop him.
Luna Blade. And into the pit they go. 23 Savage still showing on lane, though. And Kiyotaka, he's very fast. He's got haste. Well, the TP is going to be successful. Meanwhile, Toronto Tokyo already gets Roche to half HP. 23 Savage is close to being able to purchase the Radiance. And by close, I mean he has it now. Sold the Midas, of course.
Yep. Standard. He has not queued it up again, though. Now he has. Riveting. All right. Roche is dead. Who gets the Aegis? It will be Nightfall. I think there was merit to giving this to Toronto Tokyo, perhaps. We have seen Beastmaster sometimes being the priority for Aegis, especially when they have this good of an early game with 7-0. Obviously, keeping you alive is... It's not just that you're such a strong hero and get value out of the Aegis. It's also if a fight breaks out and the enemy team doesn't kill you, you're worth a lot of gold.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Talon will find techies.
They'll find
easy
a small
kill.
One. Got a decent control of this area right now on the side of Talon, but unfortunately with Roche dead, you can't really retain control here and then think about a 20-minute Roche on the bottom half. He's already gone. And the next objective that's spawning, guess where that is? That's right, it's top. So Talon kind of can only get the mid-tier 1 here. Oh, they can also lose Cuckoo another
he's going to take all the burst in the world. He does get off the Nightmare, but dies shortly after as Toronto Tokyo. I say, all right, I'll get my 8th kill of the game. No big deal.
Yeah. Cash is in his 6th death here on Cuckoo.
I mean, this is a point where Talon, if in the next fight. They just have to go all in on this Beastmaster. Worth a lot of gold, especially since he didn't take the Aegis that we discussed.
He's starting to be really tough to kill, though. 2,300 health. He has got Cloak, Essence Ring, Lotus, and Wand. You have to effectively get through 3,000 HP here to kill off this guy.
Middle tower is under attack.
Talon just don't have that much damage right now. They really need to get to later portions in the game before their lineup truly starts to hurt. Mira with a cute attempt here, but not gonna find Joachim's Shadow Shaman.
Dire's bottom tower is under
And I think we didn't really talk about this so far, but you and I both have been very impressed by Joachim this tournament.
Oh, yeah.
I think the archetype hero he has looked the best on is not Shadow Shaman.
No.
I think he has been looking best on the melee fours, where he makes rotations and has successful early pressure. In this, where you're playing on the back foot in a losing lane,
Was Tusk banned this game?
I'm not sure, but I think perhaps Talon just wanted to grab the Bane because Panto has looked so good on it, so it's a bit of a steal, but they already had Undying. And the problem here is, I think Talon's Cuckoo's best hero this tournament has been Shadow Shaman. So if you're picking Bane and Shaman, you're pushing Joachim onto a lower impact hero for himself, and then Cuckoo is also not playing his best hero.
Yeah.
So I personally kind of question this logic. Oh, he's dead. Yeah.
He will die again.
Not much to do there.
under attack.
And that's not to say that Joachim doesn't play a good Shaman, because he does. But, you know, this is top 4.
Yeah, but his Tusk has looked better than any Tusk in this tournament so far. Yeah. So
Definitely think when you're here... This is when tournaments get really interesting when you get to the top 4, because the teams know each other. You're probably, you know, you're aware of the Tusk, you're aware of other heroes Joachim plays, and you're trying to force him perhaps onto slightly less comfortable heroes, or heroes that you deem as being lower impact in the games that they have them. And at the same time, Talon will, of course, it's a mind game, through and through. They will
is nice,
have the
though,
tournament.
yeah.
I was not expecting them to be able to get this one, so this
they
is very good
are
news for them.
scanned up, so this could get pretty hairy after the fact. Yotaka with a big avalanche toss, the pipe to mitigate a lot of it. Joachim was the one to get the shard as Nightfall applying some pressure to 23 Savage. Wants to use that Doom. He's going to get roared, though, and looks like that's the sacrifice that Talon will make.
They kind of just
Everybody gets out, though. Never mind. WS, so second core will fall.
That looked
Luna
like
Blade,
Talon
definitely not
were
needed.
not on the same page, right? 23 Savage just ran into all of them and everybody else backed out, but it kind of looked like he wanted to fight, not, all right, guys, I'm going to die so you guys can get out, because, I don't know, let's see here. So Makoto's off on the side, Cuckoo just low on resources. But you can tell he could have kited off to the north and maybe got some backup, but just not enough in the tank. But this, all in all, turns out to be a relatively even trade because at least you got the Tormentor. It's not all that bad, because that Tormentor, for me, kind of had Aurora written all over it. So taking that away is a 3,000 gold swing, and
Yep, they do get the tier
even
2
more,
though
actually.
now.
It's not too bad.
As Greaves are now online for Panto.
Who got the shard? Shaman.
Joachim, yeah.
I don't really think it's that valuable.
Nah. I mean, it's solid, but yeah, it's not, I don't think it's going to change the game.
Yeah.
Where they see that for a lot of other shards. I mean, even the Bane one, over time it can change the game, but not outright immediately.
The Undying one would have been amazing for Aurora.
Yeah.
I think this is an incredible game for Entomb, as we call it now.
No, we do not.
Just grab ally.
Yeah, into the black hole and whatnot.
Black Hole, Bane Grip, Shaman Initiation, Storm. Talk about a crazy shard.
Shackle. Oh, and the Aegis runs out. This is beautiful timing from Talon.
Perfect.
Nightfall dead. Great assassination as hear the Doom going off.
Yeah,
That's on the Undying. Half HP at the moment. Do they have the catch?
he's fine.
They'll take the tier 1 instead.
That's a really well executed move from Talon, though, timing that to perfection against the Aegis expiry. And also getting the tier 1 to boot, so definitely not bad. The Doom left something to be desired. Would have probably liked to follow through on Panto, but he's stupid tanky on Undying. In Flesh Golem, 2200 health. Greaves. Tough kill. The Lina kill's the biggest on the map, though, so I think Talon are going to be quite satisfied. And as the panel talked about for Talon in a lot of their games, it's just about get to that mid-late game situation that you play the best. And you're 6k down. It's not great,
It's manageable.
but it's manageable. And in most of the games we've cast with this team, game 1 of the day, the game was over now.
That's
So,
right. 23 minutes. That's
Fast.
the average time, probably.
Vast improvement for their side for this game. And if that means they're going to be better by the same relative amount in game 2 and 3, they got this on lock.
True.
Because the game 2s and 3s, and especially game 2s, have been really good. Of course, that's unlikely that you would be that much better in the second game than usual, because there hasn't been very much room for improvement there. We'll see.
Toronto, Tokyo still deathless. 8-0.
Yep.
Going for the assault now.
Or Blink is both queued up. I kind of think I want to see the dagger first,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
but both are good.
Dire's
Putting the pressure on the
bottom
tower, they know
is
there's no
under
doom.
attack.
Yep, and it's the last outer tower on the map.
Talon don't really care about this tower.
Dire's bottom
And he did
tower
go Pipe
is
and
falling.
Crimson on Enigma. So
Yeah.
that means no BKB for the foreseeable future, no Blink. Oh, Atos catch Mira.
Blast off does hit. Makoto is fine.
The TPs are too long. And Cuckoo will also escape. Clean disengage.
Well, 30 seconds away from kind of knowing when Roche will spawn. Having a general idea. Kiyotaka goes for the Echo Saber build again, like we talked about yesterday. Not a big fan of the utility type
I don't think
tiny
we've
mid.
seen him buy it a single time, right? He doesn't go the Yules build with Octarine. He always...
It does feel like everybody else does, though, when they're
Yeah.
mid on tiny. So that's
Kinda
kind of interesting.
Sure. Yeah, he's going to get the BKB, and then we're probably going to see him go into Revenant's Brooch. I think it's been his general third item, or fourth item, if you will, after Echo Blink BKB. Don't see any reason not to do that here as well. Could maybe make a case for Daedalus, considering the relatively low armor values of the enemy team. The higher armor they have, mathematically, the better Revenant's Brooch compares to Daedalus for the cost.
Yeah, should have BKB before the next Roche spawns.
Yeah. What's the spawn timing at? About a minute on the clock.
The unreadable clock.
As an avid clock enjoyer myself, I must say this looks like a minute.
Yes, indubitably. Damage rune available.
Excellent
Photo. He's
development
gonna.
of time.
Yes, of course.
Yes. Wonderful. Makoto will obtain the...
I feel like the later this game goes, Talon are going to be pretty damn happy. They have
I think so, too.
crazy ass late game.
They do. They haven't itemized for it yet, though, on Enigma.
No.
So that we're talking very late.
mean,
But they can get
Enigma-
there. Absolutely.
Enigma does farm pretty fast. I mean, he's bottom net worth right now for the cores, but
By about 3,000, but he does farm really fast, yes.
I mean, it usually does. Yeah, come on, WS. Kick it in the high gear, bro.
Yeah, what's going on, brother? All right, what's he going to take? Get a neutral item option here? I guess...
The Jitty pollen bag was buffed.
It was.
Has a really cool icon, too.
What if it takes Tumbler's Toy and then skips Blink?
Yep, that's good.
All right, Whispers of the
Smoke
Dread.
from Aurora. And the Techie's mines can be a bit of a nuisance. Oh, he's going for the greedy boy build, huh? Looks like Talon are going to smoke as well. They have an idea that the Roche may be contested here.
Yeah.
Oh, this could be a really big fight.
Talon need to get on top of Nightfall in this fight. I think Lina has already hit the critical mass point where if she's not accounted for, she will win the fight most of the time. So you want to either jump her with the carry Doom or you want to get Storm on top.
Techies, the bombs are exploding, gives them information. Nightfall, he pops the BKB really early. Laguna as well, and now Talon can just regroup. Although the Avatos comes, a nice grip from the other side, and the Doom to follow. This Tiny is certainly dead. As a big zip onto Toronto, Tokyo. They get the one they wanted, though. And now Panto stuck in a horrible spot as the pipe is popped from Toronto, Tokyo and company. Big blast off onto the Bane, but there's the black hole onto two heroes. They don't have a huge amount of follow-up damage, but Nightfall, no more BKB, so he will drop. They have the control for Toronto, Tokyo as well. 3 for 1 for Talon. They're going to get a 4th on top of that, which means Roche is likely theirs as well. And that BKB, the early one from Nightfall, kind of spelling the doom for them in this fight, no pun intended.
Yeah. I actually don't know what the intention was there, because if he wants to kill...
that's quite the reaction.
If he wants to kill the Doom when he runs up the high ground, start with LSA, right? He broke the smoke. You could go for the stun. If he pops BKB and you don't hit the LSA, so be it. Then you go to Doom BKB. Instead, you Laguna, you pop BKB everything, and you just get nothing out of it.
Yeah.
And ironically, Nightfall would have been better off BKB TPing out than getting this atrocious fight. That felt super forced when they went in with Kiyotaka after, just completely disconnected.
The one time Nightfall doesn't Nightfall.
I don't know if there was just a misunderstanding internally that he was thinking, all right, Tiny's going to immediately Avatoss the Doom, so he just wanted to output all the damage he could and then follow through on Avatoss with the Light Strike Array, but that did not work out. And for Talon, conversely, that was pretty much the best thing you could have possibly hoped for. 4 kills, you get the Roche, and you found a great black hole without any of the items for it yet.
Yeah,
so
it's only going to get easier for WS to get off good black holes in the future. That was I'm going to walk up and just black hole.
Yeah, this was a pivotal fight for the potential outcome of this game for Talon.
Oh, Cuckoo.
Yeah, grip in 5 seconds. He can Nightmare first.
Yeah, Makoto's here as well. Kiyotaka. There's the zip. He's going to hold off on... Yeah, he's waiting for the BKB TP. No, won't bother. BKB does come out, though, as 23 Savage making his way over as well. And Kiyotaka will fall, so another giant kill for Talon as they take the lead in terms of net worth.
Yeah, they're in a very comfortable spot now. And let's remember, when this does go later, their lineup has a lot of potential against the carry Lina, courtesy of a Storm, courtesy of a Doom carry. Any of these heroes get on top of Nightfall, his fight could just be ruined.
Yeah.
You want to Doom Nightfall every fight until the game ends, if you're able to. This hero deals very poorly with getting doomed. In late game situations, Carolina depends heavily on Satanic, and that will be a non-factor. So I think for the side of Aurora, there's just so... I just think there's incredible intrinsic value in having Shard on Undying. I think if he doesn't get it from this Tormentor, he should buy it in this game.
Mira, careful, yeah. Careful there. 23 Savage, okay.
He
comes in,
kill here.
kills off Panto.
Wait, Kuku died to mines.
All
right, so
okay.
1-for-1 trade as expected.
Interesting.
In that situation.
So now the grab ally ready to go.
Nope, it went on the techies.
Well, he did buy it, so.
Ready to go.
Yeah, they have 3 shards on the side of Aurora, and Talon only the 1 on the Shadow Shaman.
Kuku is always such a good sport when things go wrong for him in the games. I think this is really...
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a good reaction like that to dying to Techie's mines.
I think it's really admirable and really good for a team environment to have a player that can just laugh stuff off.
Oh, for sure.
Instead of it becoming all tense and you being stressed out and frustrated with mistakes.
Yeah, imagine if Nightfall was more like that. They'd probably win TI every year.
Wow. BKB and laugh it off in your Nightfall.
It's always serious mode, you know? You're right, you need a jokester on the team.
I genuinely believe it's really good for the environment of every competitive team to have at least one clown. I'm not saying Kuku is a clown, but at least, you know, a good vibes guy.
Yeah.
I remember playing, for example, with Yapsor. The guy's just a goofball. Yeah. I just think it's really good for spirits in wins and losses to have someone that's just comedic relief, you know, to keep the morale.
For every Yapsor, there's a Kabop, though, Cinderin.
Oh, yeah. Well, don't need to remember that right now. All right.
Hands off keyboard. Makoto showing himself in the mid lane. Has the Aegis for another minute 45. Still, all the tier 2s for Aurora are up. And in terms of building hitting, outside the Serpent Wards, Talon just do not have much. It's more about getting team wipes with these big team fight ultimates and then pushing off the back of that momentum. As Makoto with the shield rune. Kiyotaka will be his target. BKB pop, though.
Nice
avalanche
already.
as well. Makoto not scared with that second life. Toronto Tokyo waiting in the back lane. He's going to get the roar onto 23 Savage. The blast off is coming as well. LSA and the Laguna. Jokum and company are going to have to watch their carry Doom die, and now the rest will try to exit. Looks like the Aegis is going to get burned as well.
He's going to have to BKB too. Can they toss him first?
It's no. Gets off the BKB, can zip away. So nice kill for Aurora.
Yeah, they find some structure. The Beastmaster Blink finally comes into play, getting that jump on the Doom and being able to 100 to 0 him. No saves nearby for the Dire, no defensive Nightmare. The Glimmer Cape came in from Jokum, but it was too little too late. Now with a minute on the sideline for Doom, perhaps they think about this, but you still got to be careful. Within the Talon base.
Oh, they find a Hex Initiation onto the Undying, though, getting extremely low, but the Glimmer and Force keep him alive, and a lot of mana expended from Makoto. Tries to exit the premises. Glimmer upon him. He's going to be able to walk away. Unfortunately for Talon, Jokum can't stay the same. So 2 dead, 23 Savage, still another 30 seconds to come back.
Kiyotaka's just in there. He blinked straight into the enemy base, hoping to fish someone.
He's going to get gripped very far away. Toronto Tokyo fakes out his roar, so another big ultimate down for Talon, and they're going to start losing these buildings fast. That's going to be at least 1 lane.
It's got to be at least 2, right? Unless you find a Dream Black Hole. You don't have Fiend Script now. Kuku kind of just threw that away.
Yeah, I thought it was just going to be a casual Nightmare, but went for the grip.
Wow, they're going to not go for more than this. All right. I thought they were going to get it.
We talked about the discipline, Cinderin.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm
playing it very safe.
I don't blame them. I feel
Sounds like you are.
I feel like the tower was safe. I don't think going for the barracks was...
Why do you hate them so much?
Yeah, very biased.
So biased.
Yeah, that's right. Why do you hate every region equally?
That's just being a dick, for being honest. And there we're seeing a blink now for Panto, so the grab ally is going to be a lot easier to execute.
Yep. I think Panto's primary job in this game is to save whoever gets doomed. I think you just stand behind. It's not very intuitive for Undying to play that way because you really want to place the tombstone on initiation, but I'm sure this is normal.
Yeah. Why does this cosmetic have death profit? That's what I want to know. Why is she just chilling there? That's great.
This reminds me of a certain someone from Cannibal Island, actually.
Yeah, true. You just need a chair.
Yeah, it just needs a little office chair and then slightly ambiguous accent, and you're good to go.
Yes, really, really high quality voice acting.
Thank you very much.
Yep, so Aurora in pretty good position, but Talon have these huge ults. I just can't get away from their team fight being pretty crazy if well executed.
Yeah, all my eyes are just all my eyes, all 2 of them.
Well, that's still correct. All your eyes.
My eyes are on Panto for the side of Aurora. Getting a tombstone save, you're going to be playing backline instead a lot of the time now. The dream fight for him is somebody gets doomed, you blink tombstone, then you pop flesh golem, and you become the target.
Yeah,
nothing better can happen, and I think Talon should be aware of this and try to play around it either by targeting the Undying first, or perhaps if you make an initiation, you jump someone with Doom, you want to make sure you have the Serpent Wards immediately placed to destroy the tombstone, because otherwise you're getting way too much value out of the save. It's the only tool they have to kill the tombstone with. None of their heroes are good at killing it. You can't expend a Doom BKB to just stand there and smack the tombstone, then you're going to lose the fight for sure. So
yeah.
It's quite a lot of pressure here on the side of Talon to execute it correctly, but we have seen them already in this game find that fight.
Roach is coming for Kiyotaka. Toronto Tokyo 4K into a Lincoln Sphere. And same for Nightfall. So they're going to go double Lincolns.
And same for Tiny.
The triple Lincoln.
Triple Lincolns, okay, yeah. So deal with the Doom, deal with the Bane to an extent.
Yeah,
Shaman.
Funnily enough, 23 Savage. Lincoln's next on the list.
Yeah.
Enigma, though, Mr. WS, it will be the BKB.
Yeah, he's going to need
He needs both at some point. And the question is, what does Makoto want to go? He has Shiva's SNK Witchblade BKB.
I think you should finish probably Parasma here. It's either Parasma or Ags, right? You'd think so.
Why do people not go for earlier Ags on this hero? It just looks so insane. Like, I'm not talking first item necessarily,
Yeah.
third item ags. Like, why is that not consistent? You don't have enough mana to...
Yeah, I think part of it is mana economy, but the other thing is also, if you think about the stage of the game that you're in when you would buy that axe, isn't necessarily going to be this wombo combo high ground defense play or whatever that you're going to find. If it's more skirmishy in nature, think of it this way. Every fight that the enemy team is not stacked, the axe does nothing, right? The other items do something in every scenario. Shivas will help you with solo pickoffs, it'll help you with farming, it'll help you with skirmishing. BKB enables your hero to function in different types of fights.
The Tokyo, the opening, a
Good
nice nightmare, but the damage is still coming from 23 Savage. He does get off the Doom at the last moment onto Nightfall. The right click's not quite enough. The Essence Drink's actually saving him with the Greaves as well. WS, Crimson Guard applied at the moment. The fight has actually been completely separated as they do find there's the grab ally onto Lina. They're trying to chew through the Tombstone. They do, and eventually get Nightfall as well. So 1-for-1, the Enigma for the Lina. As the Bane will fall as well. Talon do have double buyback, and the Black Hole is still up. But Aurora, do they even continue without their Lina?
That was really cool to see. That was genuinely the exact fight I was envisioning, right? They get in, they get the Doom on the Lina. Lina gets saved by Tombstone, and they Serpent Ward it instantly. Jokem on top of the assignment. If they kill that Tombstone 3 seconds slower, perhaps Lina gets to play that fight a little bit coming out. But absolutely no shot for Nightfall to get anything done. It's still a 2-for-1, though, for Aurora. As, yeah, killing the Lina is a heavy commitment, and it was Aurora opening on the Doom. Good defensive play from the Bane. Gives 23 a fighting chance. And as she said, Roche is on the menu here. 30 seconds on Lina, 5-on-4, but your lineup doesn't kill it very fast on the Dire, so I don't even think you can threaten it. Without Serpent Wards...
I mean, they still have Doom, they still have Black Hole. They can definitely take this fight.
They can take a fight, but they're not going to be able to kill Roche in 20 seconds, surely.
No. You have to go for the fight first, then...
And it also has to cross the river, so even worse.
Unfortunately for Aurora, Mira didn't set up the mines in the river to kill off Roche.
Plant an entire mine trail and kill him outside the pit.
What if he could pick up the mines and throw them?
That's an awesome idea. I think Roche should be able to pick up everything.
BKB for WS. So the only thing that can cancel his Black Hole is Roar, which has usually been used on 23 Savage, and of course Makoto. $7K lead for Aurora, but this feels very even right now. Just the one lane advantage. And yeah, the Dooms are going to be very difficult to get off now with the triple Lincolns on Aurora.
I don't even think it's bad to Doom Undying at this point, but you might have to.
I mean, he has Harpoon, right? So Harpoon into Black Hole, or into Doom.
Yeah. Okay, so in order of preference, I think if you see the Lina, you blink Halberd Alter. Or, excuse me, blink Harpoon Alter. And if the fight is already developing and you don't see her and you feel the need to, just make sure you get the Doom out at the very least.
Yeah.
But...
And if she BKBs, I mean, Harpoon still works, right? I mean, it doesn't do anything other than pop Lincoln.
Yeah, it still should pop the Lincolns, yeah.
That's probably something that's a little bit weird. Probably one of the reasons you haven't seen a lot of Lincolns up to this point, as the smokes are about to collide into the triangle. Talon are exiting. As Aurora just missed them.
This could be a really good wraparound if they find WS.
Yep, 23 Savage. He's going to pop it. He's going to get roared right off the bat. Nightmare Save coming, but the Black Hole comes out onto 3 heroes. Very nice damage to follow up as well. The pipe in addition, Toronto Tokyo, he's going to drop first, along with Nightfall. This fight for Talon going extremely well. They get the shackle onto Kiyotaka as well. Triple kill for 23 Savage, despite being the one they initiated on.
That is...
As Cuckoo wants to die to mines again. Careful!
Such a clean counter initiation from WS. It's one thing to find a Black Hole, but it's how quickly he does it here. So pay attention to the Roar. He immediately backs off to the side, pops all his auras. This was like 1.5 second window that he got everything off, plus finds a great 2-man Black Hole that effectively kind of works as a 3-man because Kiyotaka can't access the fight. He gets zoned off. When he comes in afterwards to try to help, it's too little too late. Just beautiful stuff from the side of Talon.
I mean, it's exactly what I was saying earlier. They use Roar, Black Hole's free.
Yeah, I just don't think you can Roar Doom this game anymore. I feel like it's a recipe for disaster. Especially because the way your heroes deal damage, if you're going to Roar him, he has 4,000 HP, you have to commit your heroes in closely. You need to bring in the Beastmaster in proximity, the Tiny. And if the Lina is not playing from max range, she could even get caught, as was the case there. Talon playing like it's game number 3 and game number 1.
Yep, that's right.
Very healthy
Shackle
development for them.
finds techies.
Should be an easy follow through here.
Cuckoo with the Nightmare to bring him in. Panto looking...
Never mind.
He gets the Greaves off.
Guess I didn't have enough mana on Mikoto to chase through.
So will be a freebie, and now WS with a second Black Hole. Most of us only get one. Very
Whatever
lucky
that
man.
means.
Lucky man. And of course the Aegis onto Mikoto again. Arguably the best Aegis carrier in the game. Has the Nullifier, which I don't think you mentioned unless I wasn't listening.
That's true. I did not mention that.
Thank God.
You'll
So
get lucky this
a
time.
Lincoln's Breaker. Takes off the Yules, of course. Any skill-related one?
I guess it dispels reactive taser, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Which
And
he
it
does
is
have
the shard,
for. Yeah.
actually.
Dire are scared.
Prevents the Pike of Lina. It's got decent utility. He just wants the safety that when he jumps a target, he's able to kill them off.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've effectively now reached the point for Talon where this game is definitely favoring them in spite of being down the lane of barracks. That lane matters less and less as we progress in the game. 45 minutes in is kind of whatever to be down the lane. I think it's kind of marginal how much it matters. But rather the fact that you now have Enigma online.
Radiant are scared.
Your Storm is getting 6 slotted in level 25, about to come. Panto. I have to sell him here.
Oh yeah, easy kill.
That's the 25 for Mikoto. So Overload attack bounce unlocked. 23 Savage is level 27 on Doom. So starting to progress even further. Curious to see if he ends up picking up an Ancient on level 28 with Devour, if he wants the health, or if he still wants to prioritize the Wolfpack Aura. I think he will keep this one.
Yeah, he does have Assault.
But there is obviously value to getting the Granite Golem as well. But probably better to just hold on to
All
it.
right, this will either be 23 Savage or Cuckoo getting a shard. It will be Cuckoo.
Yep.
So AoE Brain Stab, and that aligns with his Aghanim Scepter.
Oh, that's a really big item to get.
Blast Off is AoE, so that could be very good against the Fiend's Grip Ags. LSA is too small. Avalanche is obviously the best.
Yeah. It's just, what are the odds if you get off a group Fiend's Grip that techies will be able to find the stun, recognize it immediately, and hit all 3?
Yeah.
I think if this grip goes off, it's going to stay. So this is huge for the side of Talon. He can break the Lincoln himself, you know, it's pretty easy for Bane. Enfeeble, one of the longest cast range abilities in the entire game. Single target, it goes through BKB in terms of breaking the Lincoln, so not too hard. Let's get it off.
And now Aurora, the ones waiting in the base, and of course they do have a Techies, which makes it a bit weird.
Oh yeah, this could be a great late game techies versus Enigma. We do love it.
Oh, and there's an Aghanim Scepter for Mikoto. We talked about it. The Electric Vortex Baby Black Hole.
Yeah.
Now they do have Triple Hole, I guess.
Yeah. One of them blue, 2 of them black. Just the way you like your coffee.
God, no.
What would blue coffee be?
Blueberry, maybe?
Blueberry coffee.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm sure you're onto something there.
Either that
Radiant's
or
top
a
tower is
detergent.
under attack.
Yeah,
Detergent flavored.
very dominant flavor in the United States right now. Of course, people are hungering for...
Yeah, that would explain the IQ loss as the tier 2 tower. Mikoto will be able to grab that one. So only one more outer tower left for Aurora.
Top tower is falling.
And in this next minute, like, are you trying to force the issue if you're Talon?
No. Not necessarily.
You have map control, but you know that Aurora are going to leave the base once that Aegis is down.
You also know that there will be 1,000 mines. Of course, a famous song by Vanessa Carlton.
Dire are scared.
Okay. 23 Savage showing himself pretty close to the base for Aurora. Kiyotaka We've seen the tossbacks before.
Radiant's top tower is under
Of course, the Eidolon's really good at blowing up these mines as well.
Unless they die fast enough to the tower.
Oh, they're going to put the Roche banner down, so it looks like they do want to pressure a bit. Serpent Ward placed. 40 seconds on the Aegis. See if Talon, if they actually want to get ultra aggressive or just it's more poke.
Radiant's
I
top
like the
tower
Roche banner is a
under attack.
somewhat big commitment. The Zip, Nightfall.
Fortified.
Doesn't use BKB this time. He's learned his lesson. Electric Vortex to start things out. Makoto pops the Shivas. Still not biting. Oh, he jumps in. He gets the Doom from 23 Savage. There's the grab ally, though. They're going to go through the Tombstone eventually, but this is a dead Lina. The Black Hole comes out, but finally, the counteracting Toronto, Tokyo, Primal Aurora on top of him. Kiyotaka will die on the other side. That's a double buyback for Aurora, and now WS and company trying to exit. Enigma does drop, and a nice TP cancellation from Kiyotaka, so he'll pick up 2 kills on the Aurora side. Definitely not a good trade, though. 2 buybacks expended for Aurora.
And that might have been a game-ending fight if WS had enough mana, but the classic problem with Refresher Enigma did not have enough in the tank. He popped the Refresher, he swapped in the cheese, but obviously it wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And he can't get off the second Black Hole with his Refresh. So he did get killed off. As you said, though, it's a good result regardless. You force out 2 core buybacks, and this leads the way to a very clear win condition. The next fight, you doom out the Lina, kill her, it's probably over. You might find the Tiny again in a Black Hole with Midnight Pulse. You kill him. That's probably good enough too. And you just have so many ways of doing it. You can find them with a Grip. You can find them with a Storm Zip. You can open, in that instance, you saw 23 Savage very determined in that initiation. Now, they have to be ready to defend, but they have the buyback.
They have both now, yeah.
And
Dane
they
didn't have it initially.
another Doom. If Lina gets
Savage.
caught,
They're definitely going to try for it. Nightfall showing himself. There's buyback number 1, and Aurora actually backing away. So
This
being
is
able
a
to
very-
hold on this buyback on the Enigma is huge for Talon.
it's a good disengage, though. I think if they force the issue there, they lose the game. It's so hard for Aurora to avoid Lina getting doomed in this game in the current state. So
How
if
does
she's
it
hitting
work
the
if you
balance,
put Lincolns on her and she has Lincolns herself? Does it
then she has 2, right?
actually work that way still?
I think you cannot stack 2 cast on a target, but you can stack 1 on top of one that has it themselves. So let's say 2 of them had Lincolns and they can't both put it on the same other hero.
So she can have double Lincolns.
I believe that's still the case. This item isn't very popular. We don't really see
And
this
I remember
very
they
often,
kind of changed, because I think you used to be able to stack more than 2. I don't know if they got rid of that entirely, like the stacking in general, or if it's just 2 now.
Well, you would be unable to stack more than 2 because the only way you
but
could
if
currently have 2 is if you have 1 and you give 1
Right,
to
but
that.
to me, that's still stacking.
Right,
But I
that's-
understand what you're saying.
The limit is 2
Yeah.
in that case. But the only
still
way to
pretty
get it is
powerful.
that you hold it yourself,
Yeah.
one of the 2. Well, we'll see if they do it. Should work as far as I'm concerned, but I could be wrong about that. Like I said, Lincoln's not the most popular item anymore. But against Doom, Kiyotaka, stay awake, bro. It's an important game, buddy. Probably a bit more of a stress yawn than tired one, I would imagine. But some of these players do go to bed late. I can relate to that as a night owl myself, and so can you.
Is that a thing? A stress yawn?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. That's why a lot of... If you look at players' camera shots during drafts of important games, a lot of the time people will be yawning.
Yeah, because they just woke up, you know?
Yeah, it's 7 p.m. in the night before an important game. They just woke up.
Yes. How degenerate do you think these players are? They're very much so. You're one of them, Cinderin. Big smoke from Talon. 23 Savage. Gonna blink over the techies, so won't find a connection here.
It's nothing time. No Torm, no Roche. Roche is up in, give or take a minute 20 seconds.
Okay, very good.
Oh, probably a minute 10, actually. I take it back.
It's interesting. He still has... Okay, he puts the refresher back in his inventory.
Yeah. But that is true. Now that he doesn't have a slot for the harpoon, he can't break the Lincolns himself as easily. Oh, well, he can't. Wait. Don't tell me this new neutral item. No, it wouldn't work. That would not make sense. That breaks Lincolns.
Makoto.
Have we tested, actually, the new neutral items if they break Lincolns? Because I think...
You think I sit in the server and test that? No, that's Fog.
I don't know why.
Fog is the only one that does that.
I don't know why I asked you, actually. I'm so sorry.
I mean, you don't do that either.
No. I'm trying to think if there's any new neutral item that would actually have the ability to break Lincolns at all. Just looking over them.
Like unit target,
Yeah,
the
what would
crippling
be-
blow.
I think crippling crossbow...
Crippling blow, yeah.
Crippling crossbow doesn't, I think. Because you remember there were these neutral items that were kept, like tier 2 neutrals that people would play with at 45 minutes because they broke Lincolns.
Yeah.
And then they got removed, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think anything...
Yeah, but finding something to break Lincoln's is not hard.
No, you just...
Because it goes through BKB, right? That's the issue. That's what makes it kind of
Right.
weak.
But 23 Savage is running into that slot problem where right now he has to swap in and out his Harpoon and Refresher to break the Lincolns. Or he would have to drop Sanjin Yasha or Travels, which feels really bad.
Hey, what do you think about not being able to use items on a BKB target?
What do you think about a dead Beastmaster?
Yeah, that's a big one. Wow.
Easy catch. They dropped
Yeah,
Doom on him
they
as well.
proc
They
the
wanted to make
Lincolns,
sure.
and they easily took him at 90 seconds. Does have buyback here, but Roche is up for Talon.
That's a very valuable find. There's no way Aurora fight this without Toronto Tokyo, so I think they just concede the Roche. That is a great pick.
Talon in very good position right now.
Surprised they aren't beelining it for Roche right now. They'll go now, but doesn't seem too pressing of an issue for them. But in we go.
Now a refresher for Makoto, so he's got the double electric vortex hole,
Yep.
electric hole. So a freebie Roche. And that means WS will get a refresher shard again. Has he changed his build at all? Did he have Lincoln's last fight? I don't think so. So that should be enough mana now, right?
Dire's bottom barracks are
Yeah, and
under
it's roar
attack.
protection, which is really valuable. You saw in the fight in the enemy base that he got roared after he black holed. Now with that extra layer, has a decent chance of getting it. Oh, that was simultaneous Ags buys. That was very satisfying. A rare sight. Tiny with Ags.
Huh.
Don't see that every day. The tree volley,
Yeah, that's a high ground defense tactic.
it's good at top. It's really bad at mid. So, unless they buy a lot of branches, of course. Somebody put Mira on branch duty. Just plant trees everywhere for Kiyotaka to grow
He
non-stop.
could. Problem is they only last 15 seconds, right?
Or maybe give him the mango tree back and plant that.
What about the money tree from Nature's Prophet?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Throw those.
Dire are
Can't wait for that to
scanning.
make a big splash. It's completely irrelevant, of course.
Talon biding their time. They have all the resources to take big fights. But of course, we talked about they don't have a great pushing team until the heroes are dead. Aside from the Rasta.
They can keep playing map control and gain 1,000 GPM if they want.
Yeah, they might have to. I mean, these techies' minds are... It's not like you can dive the base. You're expecting this.
Well, the banner is a pretty important item this game, actually.
Yeah, it does feel like they kind of wasted it the last time around. This is a double siege wave.
I've been wanting.
Will be dealt with. 23 Savage. I don't think they're going in here.
Thank God this is new techies.
Yeah, this would be... Okay, they do use Roshan's banner. Makoto zips in, zips out. They get the tier 3.
Yeah.
And the Serpent Wards and Siege doing a decent amount of work to the melee barracks.
Nightfall.
Makoto, he actually forces out the BKB from Nightfall. Uses the Nullifier as well. They're going to trade BKBs essentially. Is that actually it?
So, I'm not sure if Nightfall had to be that stressed on the BKB there. He was double Lincolned, and then
will
they
be
double
melee.
Lincolned him again.
Radiant's top barracks.
Really trying to protect their Lina as much as they can. But if that Vortex is enough to scare him to pop BKB, these Lincoln's layer is not as important.
The Serpent Wards and Siege with the combination of Roche's banner.
Yeah, mission accomplished.
That's
They're gonna
essentially
get
a lane.
They got it.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
All right. Well, if they get one lane per banner, then another 20 minutes should do it.
Yeah, with the banner kind of the MVP is a big zip from Makoto on top of Kiyotaka. They're going to get the AoE Doom as well, but it's reflected.
Barracks are under attack.
I think the fight may just end as a result of that Lotus.
Dire's
And with
bottom
only a minute
barracks
48 left on the Aegis, I mean, pretty much aligns perfectly with the next Doom, but it's probably too close for comfort. We might just be waiting for another Roche here and the tier 5s to come. Pretty epic game number 1 for Talon. Little change of pace.
It's epic because it went past minute 30.
Yeah, and they are in control right now.
Gonna find Mira.
Yep, already at half HP, applies the Lotus as the Avatos on the other side. Kiyotaka looking for the defense. If they're going to be able to get the Laguna Blade onto the 23 Savages, taking a lot of damage. Will attempt to TP out in the midst of the BKB. Is out. Toronto Tokyo too slow on the Roar as Makoto expends all his mana to get to the other side of the river. Is Kiyotaka continuing to pursue? No. We'll pop the Lotus as Makoto gets a hell of a lot of mana now. And now Kiyotaka getting a bit closer to that Divine, which with Tree Volley is pretty good. He doesn't have a Daedalus, he has the Brooch instead. So I would think that's less damage.
You absolutely just replaced the Echo for Rapier, right?
The Echo does, I mean, it does proc off the Tree Volley.
Yeah.
I don't know if you care about that.
Just
but
the slow, right? It's kind of whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive to consume the Ags. Now Aurora looking to hunt.
5v4, but plenty of spells where that came from for Talon. Only one Doom, but they have 2 Black Holes.
Yeah, we have not seen a Black Hole in quite a while.
But this is a good timing. Aegis
Jokum
expires in 10 seconds.
Tanking the gank. Kiyotaka actually blinks over him. And Jokum, is he actually fine here?
Value
he has a Shadow Blade,
baby.
That's pretty sick. And now the Aegis is gone.
And he still has the Tumblr's toys as tier 4 neutral.
Oh my god, dude. That's hilarious.
Little horsey action. He has the...
Oh, and it's
Unleashed.
Yeah, it is unleashed.
So it's a 390 horsey.
All right, we're about to hit tier 5s here.
Sure are.
Who is going for Helm of the Undying?
Undying.
It's the most Lincolns I've seen in a game in years.
How many do we have total? 1, 2, 3,
5.
4.
5.
I'm counting 4, 5. Okay.
Very good.
I clicked wrong.
EU math today?
No, it's good. I think we should be celebrating you rather than making fun of me when it comes to counting.
Okay.
You getting it right is a lot more impressive.
So say something.
What?
Dire are scanning.
Say congratulations, you counted to 5. That's even worse, actually. All right, Kiyotaka will help take out the Torme. Toronto Tokyo with the Shard. Is that the double...
upgraded Call of the Wild.
Yeah.
Second Hawk and longer duration. Not really important, minute 60.
Yes.
As 23 Savage eclipses $50,000 of net worth.
Yep, has the refresher in his backpack again, so not really expecting to take a fight here.
Of course, lest we forget, Doom was nerfed this patch. Got less HP regen in lane. And Reddit said, wow, this hero is terrible. It's already bad. It has bad win rate. Why do they nerf it again?
I like how Panto just made a tier 4 neutral.
What?
He just made that. Now he's going to get a tier 5.
Okay. Interesting. Yep, there we go. Now we can get to craft.
All right, let's see what we got.
I think, wait, why can't he craft? This is 10 out of 10.
Huh. Yeah, that's weird.
Valve usually makes rounding errors. Okay.
All right, so Tiny, I mean, the Stygian, I mean, Divine Regalia. We're seeing a lot of people take this, and it has not... I mean, it's hard to say if it's looked good or not because they've just died right away.
Helm of the Undying on Lina is big, though.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Because he is the target, and he can do so much damage in 5 seconds if he dies. If he kills one hero with the Laguna plus all his physical burst, he gets to live another 5 seconds.
Yeah, 23 Savage goes for the same.
Yep.
And
Similar
Divine
logic.
Regalia onto Makoto.
And Undying has Helm of the Undying, very fitting.
So 3 Helm of the... I was right about one item at least.
Yep, that's right. You said Helm of the Undying would be good. You said Self-Exile would be bad.
Yeah, so 50-50.
Yeah. Pretty good for your track record.
Oh, Books of the Dead. So Books of the Dead, we talked about this being nerfed. It's not great for pushing, but against the Mind,
it's really good against
pretty
techies.
damn good.
Yeah, it's get rid of all that garbage.
But Techies doesn't take damage from killing it, right? There's still a tier 2 here. I didn't even realize that. As Aurora smoked up, they will show themselves. 23 Savage blinks in to nothing as the Divine Rapier now picked up by Nightfall. He is the kill. He's going to get initiated on right off the bat. Pops the BKB. Gets to half HP already. That's a self-grab ally, I believe. As Nightfall, he's going to get doomed. And he's going to go down.
Helm of the Undying
is keeping him alive, though. They need to stay close to be able to pick up that. As their big black hole onto 3, instantly canceled by the Roar, though. And the Doom now applied to the Techies. Makoto finishing off Toronto Tokyo. Is going to take out Kiyotaka as well. Divine Rapier on the deck. Who can pick it up for Talon? 2 make it 3 dead for Aurora as the buyback came out from Nightfall. They have 2 more buybacks to work with, but the Divine Rapier lost. And of course, the Divine Regalia useless as usual. As 23 Savage was still alive with the Helm of the Undying because of how many people died around him.
And in classic pro player fashion, he makes sure to use Devour on the way to the base.
Very important min-maxing.
Rapier on the deck is being pinged out. Nobody's picked it up yet.
Yeah,
WS is
crazy.
He's like, I'm Enigma, and will not pick it up.
Yeah, Makoto, he's going to be pushing with these double Books of the Dead. That is a second lane for Talon.
Trying to recover the Rapier here. Not going to happen.
Yeah, good attempt.
Nice
Courier's
coverage.
dead.
Radiant's courier has
I mean, who
been
wants
killed.
this, though? It's going to be picked up by Enigma, so can turn it into the spell version.
I guess so.
I guess Pipe is not crazy anymore.
He hasn't toggled it yet. Dude, there's no way you forget to toggle it, right?
There's a way by not doing it.
Okay. Well, he wants to
Dire's
push,
middle
maybe.
tower
Yeah, he does provide a decent amount of attack damage now, I suppose. The zip in onto the Undying. The grip from afar. Helm of the Undying activates on Undying, not confusing at all. And Kiyotaka jumped in. He bought back into this. Instantly gripped, though, by the Shackle. Already at half HP. Pops the BKB, gets the toss, but Makoto is going to be just fine.
Black
WS.
hole's ready.
Yes, it is. Uses the Refresher Shard. They're just going to wait for their Doom to come back. 23 Savage, only 12 seconds away. And he will have
Radiant's
one
middle
Doom
tower
with 60 seconds left for the Refresher. Tombstone placed ahead of time. Serpent Ward's doing a lot of work again. Now the Books of the Dead coming in as well. As Kiyotaka with the Tree Volley. Not going to do too much at the moment. A lot of spam as the barracks now no longer protected by the tower as they're putting everything with the grab ally on top of Lina. Jumps out again. Nightfall. The Doom was actually reflected there, but the black hole comes in onto 3. That might just do it. Nightfall trying to limp back to base, but he's gonna die. Electric Vortex onto 3, 2 of which are dead heroes thanks to the Helm of the Undying. GG's come out, and Talon, barn burner of a game number 1, and they finally take game 1 in one series, it feels like, in this tournament. And play usually doesn't get to see the spotlight in pro gameplay. We have only had 4 games in this tournament. Has a good record though, 3-1. They have a Marcy support with the rebound facet, which allows Axe to initiate before Blink, which I think is really cool.
That's an interesting idea, yeah.
But yeah, Talon, very, very aggressive lineup. Love to see it. Can Aurora extend this to a game 3?
I think Aurora's lineup looks a little bit more stable, if you will, in terms of, you know, you've got the Naga Siren that has a very good track record this tournament. You're running it together with very stable follow-through. You've got Ensnare into Arrow, you've got Stormpull into Arrow, Centaur Stomp into Arrow, Disengage, Team Fight.
Makoto, Hoof Stomp finds him. They had the Blood Grenade on him as well, but the rebound onto the high ground. He gets inside of the Sprout from Cuckoo, the little bit of heal, as Kiyotaka looks like he's going to go down. So 23 Savage ends up with the first blood. Mira running away through the river. Both heroes very quick thanks to that amazing change. And it ends up being Mira dropping, and Makoto does end up falling to Nightfall. So in the end, a 2-for-1, but first blood to Talon.
Great result for them. Considering Aurora were the ones looking to initiate a fight there, did not get the outcome they were hoping on the Lina. Instead, this turnaround play from the side of Talon.
I think Makoto did lose 1 creep in the lane before being able to come back.
Yeah, well worth it then.
Could be horribly wrong, actually. Maybe it was not the case.
So far the numbers say a 1,000 advantage for Talon. I'm going to trust Dota over you, whether that was good or not. But yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit more about...
I didn't say it wasn't good.
I want to talk a little bit. You said Lina lost a creep and therefore it wasn't worth it. Anyway.
Just mentioned.
Yeah, okay. Looking at the axe, he's always going to be the talking point of any game. This hero is very polarizing. Part of the reason he has not seen much play in general is that even in good games, axe has a tendency to fall off. It's like very... It's on a knife's edge in a lot of games, whether you can really get the job done or not. But I think what Talon see in this game, in addition to, of course, as you mentioned, being able to rebound him in, the matchup against Weaver is very good for Axe. Weaver in fights will often try to Shukuchi through the enemy team and play on that mobility. If you get caught mid-Shukuchi by an Axe call, you can get 100 to 0'd by Blade Mail. There's nothing stopping him from truly getting that off either. Centaur can't really counterplay this. The Song can always counterplay these types of plays, but it is very fast. The damage comes out very quickly. And on top of that, Axe should have a very good laning stage against Naga Weaver. What are they going to do to him? He's going to get a Vanguard and he'll free farm.
Yep, as you say that, they're getting pressured out of the lane though, onto the tier 1. The rebound in.
Well, who's pressuring who?
WS, still level 2. Panto. Battle Hunger applied, and this will eventually be a kill going the way of Talon, but will they lose WS on the way? Nightfall applying as much pressure as he can. Shukuchi is up under the tower. The Berserker's spell goes up. Beautiful timing. Nightfall dies under the tower. He just gets level 3. Levels Berserker's call, and man, oh man, what a start for Talon.
He might have just anticipated that he was, without a doubt, going to level the second point counter helix, but I love when Axes do this. I think the 1-1-1 build in a lot of games is actually better than the 0-1-2. That's more common.
Especially this lane.
This kind of situation, and the lane in general. And he timed it perfectly. He didn't get hit by the Shukuchi damage, right? He got him on the way in, I think. Either way, job well done. 2,000 gold lead minute 3.
Yep.
A great start for them.
23 Savage playing the Bristleback this time around.
That is ours.
And Toronto Tokyo will be playing Mr. Centaur, of course. Gets off the hoof stomp, but just a little residual damage as 23 Savage already has 3 kills in this game. So an incredible start for him as the Swarm comes out into the ensnare. As WS gets off a call only onto the 1, though. So Talon's still getting pressured quite a bit in this lane. As WS has the Ring of Health and still 600 away from finishing the Vanguard, which will make him close to unkillable in the early stages.
Healthy amount of creeps in the tower, though, and also has a healing salve to get up to full to be competitive in the lane. Got the water rune before he was forced out, but it's good news for the side here of Aurora. They get both waters. Kiyotaka desperately needed some resources here to be able to be somewhat competitive against the Lina. The mid lane actually for Kiyotaka going quite well so far. This is not an easy matchup, especially when Lina gets more levels. The constant long-range harassment, you're always outranging the Storm Spirit. You had the advantage from the first blood fight. Kiyotaka still able to somewhat hold his own here at least.
Yep, relatively even mid lane. Makoto with a bit of an advantage, just very slight as we see a call onto Nightfall. The ensnare with the reel in for Jokum, but now you have the rebound on top. Nightfall dead.
I love this lane. I don't think I've seen it played before.
Very cool.
I am on board with Marcy Axe. It looks super fun to play. It's also easier to look fun to play when you have a good lane matchup, of course, for this type of lane, but...
I mean, let me ask you this.
Really cool.
We talked about Axe's build being you either go Vanguard Blink or Blade Mail Blink. Can you go Blade Mail and Vanguard before Blink with the Marcy on your team?
It's not out of the question, but I still do think it's just safer to give yourself that opportunity to make the moves. He's actually going to get reeled into the tower. That's funny. Doesn't really do too much.
Kiyotaka, only level 5 inside of the Sprout. Cuckoo helping set up a kill for Makoto. As Talon continuing to snowball this game. They really woke up with aggression today. They had a cold shower, I feel like, Synderen.
Yeah.
A rarity these days. So I've told. Panto. I mean, that is kind of the issue, though, that you brought up from the Talon side, is that the song can be really powerful gonna force out BKB for the axe, which, I mean, he typically would go for anyway late stage of the game. There's Arrow, a melee one onto Cuckoo, trying to get to the high ground. Looks like he's resigned to his death. Tries to deny himself on the creeps. It's gonna be close. No, they're gonna get a residual kill though. Makoto takes out Mira, so it's a 1-for-1.
Jokum's nearby though.
Yes, he is. He pokes him. Dispose. Back into Makoto's arms. 23 Savage coming in to steal some XP. Successful maneuver from 23 Savage.
And we'll get the stack as well. Everything for Talon coming together right now. This is a total stomping. See, this is the standard Talon game 2. But today, they also won game 1.
Yeah.
They've had quite a few very one-sided affairs, both for and against themselves. I have yet to see, I believe, Talon crush an early game and then lose the game. So Aurora definitely have a challenge ahead of themselves.
The real end. Arrow not close at all. WS turns this around now onto Panto. Illusions, as long as they don't hit him. Okay, he actually chops down Panto. Looks like he had a lot of health, but...
Axe won a 1v3, Shannon.
Yes, that's pretty good news for Talon. And Aurora should be scared.
That Arrow.
A level 4 Weaver versus a 6 Axe. As there's the rebound. Call to come as well. And a choppity chop for the road. WS double kill. This lane's a dumpster fire for Aurora.
The worst part about that for Aurora is I don't even think you kill him if you hit the arrow. Like, these heroes don't have damage to kill this guy.
Oh, good attempt.
WS is way too tanky with the Vanguard. You've got Weaver, Mirana, and Naga trying to kill him. I mean, good luck. Nightfall a little bit stumped here, understandably so. This is probably the hardest Aurora have been beaten in a single game this entire tournament in the first 8 minutes. Just getting run over by the side of Talon, bringing something fresh to the table here. The Axe, part of 7 of 11 kills. I love the creativity of running this with Marcy. It's super cool. It's very effective so far. All lanes going well for them. We haven't really talked much about Bristol, kind of because the lane is a nothing burger. You're playing Bristol against Centaur.
They have the connection this time. It's a 4 versus 1. Can WS survive? He is not. Kill goes the way of Kiyotaka, a much needed one for Aurora.
It takes them so long to kill him, but they get it done. Now Kiyotaka is back into mid. Now he needs to make sure he's not on the receiving end. Jokum is set up. Did not connect, just barely.
Kiyotaka pretty low on mana right now. Another ensnare comes out, and that's the Reelan has ridiculous range.
Arrow missed.
That long.
Mira on his last leap will get out. Makoto has a haste in the bottle, so if they want to kill him, they have to 100 to 0 him in those stuns. Well, all this is happening.
Is he actually going to get dove here? No.
The reason I say this lane is a nothing burger is not because it's a draw, it's just because there's only one outcome when Centaur plays against Bristleback, the way I see it. Unless the early laning stage for Centaur becomes a stomp fest in your favor, Bristol is just going to farm and keep boxing you out. It's very straightforward, and the expected result here that 23 Savage is bullying Toronto out of the lane. Not really much you can do about this. And we talked about how difficult it is to kill the Axe. Good luck with the Bristle. He has 2,000 health in level 2 Bristleback.
Yeah.
It's tough for Aurora to find any plays on the map. Kind of the only core that even feels remotely killable with a 2 or 3 man squad is the Lina. Speaking of, we'll just find a little Mira. Dies midair and during the dispose.
5k lead for Talon.
Yeah, here goes the top tower
and
as
the thing is, with this lead, having a Bristol, having an Axe, they can keep the pressure on.
Oh, yeah.
And they are, what, 2k away from the Ags on 23. And for WS, wait, what did he buy? Oh, he went for the phase boots first. Okay, so it's going to be phase boots into Blink.
Yeah, it's good. He's protecting the 10-minute rune. It will be bottom. He gets the call.
Gets the call successfully. The rebound to follow the shot.
My God, it's enough.
Kiyotaka dead. Panto still only level 5, so no song to work with. His Cuckoo inside his own Sprout. He's going to be fine. As Mira, he's out of leaps. And he's out of life.
Good one usage. At least doesn't get chopped.
Yeah, that's too bad. I was really feeling that culling blade. Down for 74 seconds.
The ultimate silver lining here. Nice, guys. We didn't get killed by culling blade. But we got killed by the Marcy instead.
Yeah, support Marcy owning right now, Jokum.
This is, for all intents and purposes, the makings of a 25-minute game. This one is going to be really tough for Aurora to bring back. And Talon, they've shown that in stomping games, they're not afraid to put on the pressure. They have a very good understanding of, all right, this is a slow game. We need to make sure to farm up. These are our timings just as much when they're crushing They'll not let their foot off the gas, and so far in this game, I mean, what a dream game to be Prophet in. Your two side lanes are stomping. You can just go wherever you want
Very true.
with your teleportation and find kills. Cuckoo's been in 8 of them so far on the Prophet. Now the ulti has been unlocked, Wrath of Nature. A really nice ability to have together with Axe. It can often make the difference between whether you get people in Calling Blade range or not. The good news for Aurora is you have Song of the Siren finally, so a little bit of a layer of protection that is probably going to prevent a couple of kills, but is it going to give you any? That's the bigger question.
Yeah, they don't exactly have... I mean, they do have arrow set up, right? I mean, they've already had that with the Ensnare anyway, as we're going to see. The Dispose from Jokum. Okay, WS not even playing the connection. Is Kiyotaka. To be a bit careful with his mana. Jokum eventually taken out, and now WS in a 1 versus 4. The Stampede make it a 1v5 as the Nature's Prophet comes to play. The Song of the Siren. WS is still fine for the time being. Have they run out of resources? There's the call to follow. They finally take out WS again, but Toronto Tokyo is going to pay the ultimate price on Nightfall. On the run, no longer with time lapse. Moonlight Shadow upon him, but they have the vision. They have the kill. Double kill for 23 Savage. It's going to cost Aurora heavily. Just to take out that Axe, they lose 2 cores.
They even did a really good job there, I feel like, Aurora. Very good kiting. They kept playing on the angles. They did not get hit by the rebound. They did not get hit by the call a singular time, and still, the kill is just so... It's such a long time to get through him. Cuckoo helping out with, I believe, 2 sprouts there with some healing as well. Makes that get ever the more difficult. And it turns into effectively an even trade here in the net worth with these kills expended. Both sides. Kiyotaka rushing travels again on the Storm.
Doesn't have that much mana.
Oh, okay, yes.
Oh, he's on. Okay. Well, I say that. Sprout makes it a little bit more difficult. Now he's truly out of mana, but no more chase to come. Boots of Travel coming out.
He is, I believe, the only player
again
in this tournament to rush this on Storm. Does it basically every single time. I think this, when you're this far behind, is super risky. You have no impact right now.
That's one word. That's one word for it.
Because the alternative is to go the standard route where you go, let's say, Tread, Switchblade, and then you come online much earlier, and you can perhaps... I think you just need more damage.
Yeah.
You already saw how much they struggled.
Oh, Stampede, 23 Savage. They try to get to the other side. Arrow does hit him in the back. TPs are coming. 23 Savage doing a lot of damage. Makoto comes in from the sideline, takes out Mira. Kiyotaka as well. And it looks like Centaur next on the list. Triple kill for Makoto. Talon completely dumpstering. What an amazing performance so far.
This is the price you pay when you rush Travels on Storm. His damage was pitiful on that kill.
Yeah, I don't want to harp on it too much, Cinderin, but it's Kiyotaka, so I will, of course. There's no way buying this literally every game, no matter the situation, that it's correct.
I would agree with that.
I'm just going to say that outright.
On a theoretical level, I just don't see it. Cuckoo gonna dodge the arrow. Here comes Storm.
WS in the vicinity. Kiyotaka's already used a lot of mana. Good thing for him. He does have the move speed with the Boots of Travel to get away.
WS has Blink.
There it is. On to Panto with the creeps to help out. The chop comes. WS with another stack to his name.
11k lead, minute 14.
This is disgusting to watch.
You have no map on Aurora. You have to get to some sort of damage items. Well, with Boots of Travel, you can teleport away from things and switch to other lanes to find creeps, but you paid 2,000 gold. So now, effectively pigeonhole yourself into farming for, I want to say, at least the next 10 minutes. I think every move Aurora makes is going to be a net loss. It's just so hard. We've already established that they need to bring 3 to 4 heroes to kill Axe or Bristle. I think Bristle, they might need all 5. The damage is just so weak. So what do? 23 Savage can just play super aggressively around the map, so can WS, and whenever the Axe is off the map, you also need to be paranoid about whether he's ganking you. You know, Prophet's in the mix every time. Now, this item could potentially help Toronto Tokyo with a Blink. If they were to find, I don't know, this feels like such a checkmate already. Like, usually I would be focusing on, all right, Centaur has a Blink, let's go make moves, let's find kills. It just feels like 2 out of the 5 enemy heroes are borderline.
Oh my god. Did he sell the Blink? He did.
Yeah, he bought Midas. Okay.
Oh my god. I don't think I've ever seen Midas Centaur, Cinderin,
I like this.
as Kiyotaka's dead.
I like the Midas because they have cornered themselves, and this is the only way out. I think his Blink would have probably been borderline useless. He needs to try to get to super late game already.
They have
with
to
the Midas.
stampede just to save the Naga.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Oof.
I will say, I would have preferred to see Centaur Blink and Storm tread Switchblade as a potential angle back into the game, but when the Storm has travels and you see you can't kill these heroes, I think your Centaur has to buy into the same idea. And you have to do the same thing. It makes no sense for Centaur to buy a Blink to then not fight, right?
Yeah. No,
You might as well buy
I
a
get
farming
it.
item. But I can't say Midas is better than Blade Mail necessarily for that. I think you might farm more with Blade Mail. Maybe not. I guess this is a bit better.
As Mira is
Mira's
taken out
dead.
by Makoto, they're just dropping like flies. Aurora, if they lose this game, they are out of the tournament, and Talon would move on to the lower, or the lower bracket finals to
Yeah.
face off against whoever loses to after this series. It's Joe and Makoto, 23 Savage into the pit. This is gonna be a 17-minute Roche. They probably will go get the Tormentor at exactly 20, and then they'll have 2 minutes to use the Aegis to try to get as many towers as possible.
And their shards are pretty good. Curse of the Old Growth is a great one. And Marcy with the upgraded rebound.
Cuckoo spotted. Swarm. Mira's here. Makoto has the Aegis.
Gonna miss the call. But, yeah.
You can miss spells if you're Talon at this stage.
Yeah,
can
you
make
really
lots
can.
of mistakes.
Aurora unable to fight back there.
Aurora
in spite
has
of
to
that.
play picture perfect to come back in this game.
Kiyotaka's just using the travels to split push the map. Cuckoo's on his tail, forcing the TP out.
Radiant's middle tower
This might not
is
seem
under
like that
attack.
big of a deal, but it's actually a massively impactful play for Prophet to do this. If you keep forcing Storm back to base, he never gets to his items. So, yeah, you don't kill him, and you're like, oh, he just TP'd out. This cuts off Kiyotaka from hundreds of gold out on the map, because that top area was one he wanted to control and to gain. And now he doesn't have access to it. Mira did leap away from one problem into the next.
Yep, Unleash. Jokum takes out another. 13K lead for Talon. 23-5. They were aggressive from the jump. And Aurora just were not prepared.
Yep.
Maybe they need to take a shower.
Well,
Dump some water on those heads.
if they lose this game, there'll be plenty of time to shower at least.
Yeah, well,
Can add in the bonus 30 minutes that this game might be shorter than their
Radiant's top tower
expectancy.
is under attack.
A little
Radiant's
extra
top
time in
already the
jacuzzi.
siege is coming. 19 minutes
High
in.
ground. Yeah.
And both Makoto and 23 Savage playing heroes that can definitely do this, but the big zip does clean up the wave, so backdoor protection is going to kick in eventually.
is under attack.
The next
Another
wave
wave
is
is
on the way.
coming.
23 took some damage. They could heal him up with Sprout, but Cuckoo is playing on the bottom side for now. He will connect now, though.
Saka again. Now Cuckoo's come to play, so you got 3 heroes that can push towers.
There's that heal.
A big reel in. 23 Savage into nothing, just trying to delay. Trying to burn this Aegis on Makoto, as you see Mira dealing with the wave.
Top tower is falling.
So it looks like Talon will back away.
His bottom tower is
They
under
get the tower. And it is 20 minutes now, so they can just position themselves to get the old Tormy.
Yep.
Dire's
They have good heroes for it. Bristol, Lena. Bristol can do it alone.
Dire are
It's
scanning.
Eggs. Just needs to heal him up a little bit, perhaps.
Mira's going
Cuckoo.
for a YOLO arrow
Dire's
kill of
bottom
Tormentor,
tower is
maybe.
under attack.
Could be.
We don't get to see that very often. Just chilling for now. 23 Savage making his way over, so this is pretty orchestrated from the Talon side. And Mira will just TP out, so actually moonlighting.
Yeah, they're going to
set
try
something up
WS.
on
They will.
Axe. WS with the blade mail. Makoto's nearby. Oh my god, Kiyotaka almost kills himself onto just the blade mail alone. And even with all those numbers, they can't do much. WS gets a free shard. All right. So Berserker's Call will apply Battle Hunger and you can apply multiple Battle Hungers on the same target.
Yep.
Not too shabby at all.
Just a nice damage increase for the
Dire's
hero.
middle tower is
Feels good. You get the move speed.
Yeah, which talents did he go for here? It's only level 13 because we're...
Hasn't taken any yet.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, when you get something like this, do you go for
Dire's
all the
middle
Battle Hunger
tower
talents,
is
like the
under attack.
10 and 15, would you say?
I think
Radiant's
I think you could take the
bottom
10 and
tower is
15
under
Battle
attack.
Hunger talents here, yeah.
Always feel good, and so does that. Pantho chopped. 30 seconds on the deck, and 23 Savage ready to go for more.
They don't have a wave, so they cannot push yet.
That is
But they will cut the coming waves
Radiant's bottom tower
already.
is under attack.
Aurora,
Dire's middle tower.
they're going to get their first tower of the game here pretty soon to that siege.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Cardi the Catapult, the MVP so far for Aurora, the only
Dire's
one to
top
show up
tower
in this game, number 2.
Radiant are scanning.
Hey, I gotta say, today the creeps have been playing consistently.
Yeah, not too
Aurora.
shabby.
Mira, get away for now with that leap. Joke.
Jokum BKB, by the way.
Yeah.
Are scanning.
Lest we forget, there's a 4th core in this game already in the Marcy.
Yeah, she can definitely scale.
An additional problem for Aurora to try to deal with. But they're doing the right thing by playing the map. Kuku is once again going to force out Kiyotaka from the side. Take it for himself.
The Aegis has expired, and I mean, Talon didn't really gain anything. In terms of net worth, at least.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, it is a bit of a stalemate for
surprising.
now. Good stalemate for Talon, though, to be ahead 13k. I don't think they mind too much.
Yeah. Makoto's still hunting. He's going to run into Mira. A bit of a difficult kill for him. Jokum wants to chase, though. I mean, this is, from Aurora's side, obviously split pushing. It's going to help extend this game. But also, just forcing them to chase you. Even if they get the kill after a long portion of this chase, it could feel worth it for Aurora. That's kind of the game they have to play at this point.
It is. Them not looking for a single kill is the best way to play the game. It's very hard to play Dota like this.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Because eventually
That's a big one.
you get caught. Like, you just can't play keep away forever.
Kiyotaka runs into Lina.
Oh, nice dodge
Takes the
of the
Laguna. Very close to out of mana. The arrow gonna fly by. Uses the rest to get to the path of no resistance again as Mira. He's expended everything. He'll be dropping his WS now, hunting for the Storm Spirit. As Mira. Well, they're gonna get the Stampede to help out. Kiyotaka with a sliver of mana left will try the TP, but burns away to the Battle Hunger. How many was that on him?
That's 3. It was triple
That's
Battle Hunger. He
insane.
took so much damage. That's kind of crazy. That's 90 physical damage per second.
Oh my god. And the song is gonna do literally nothing here. Wow. Wow. This, this is quite the shellacking. Aurora just can't do shit, man.
Yeah. I was telling you, if Talon ever learned to win game 1,
I know. The game 2 is literally identical to how many game 2s they've had.
yeah, we've seen their game 2 game. They have a better game 2 game than game 1 game. And in this game, they won't even have to show off their game 3 game, most likely.
And game 3 would have been really hype, I'm sure.
Yeah, generally, their third games have been on the longer side.
Yeah, teams are generally a bit more passive.
Yeah.
That's what I love about this aggressive lineup from Talon.
All right, opening up to 23 Savage. 23 Savage is going to farm a bug.
Yep, easy gold. Oh, WS looking for an opening. They have the vision on the side of Aurora, though. They cancel the blink. Arrow not hitting.
Yeah, and
Just a waiting game for Roche.
this Lotus Orb on X is very valuable here. You can remove and snare. You can reflect. If you ever reflect Electric Vortex, Storm kind of kills himself on you. So
That's interesting.
The armor is nice against Weaver. There's a lot of upsides. Oh, see it being maybe put to use. Good arrow.
Yep.
All right,
Arrow is
that's
there.
the
They
burst.
have the burst. Down goes Axe. Stampede to follow. Makoto.
That
We
is
have a
not a
pause.
great pause.
What the horse happens now?
Oh, yeah, this is a good time. Okay.
4 versus 5. Talon with a massive advantage, but they've lost one of their most important heroes in Axe.
Is
Laguna Blade
Nightfall,
has been used. Can we get a zoom in? Okay, never mind.
is
Too
Nightfall
late.
getting hit by rebound, Shannon?
Yes.
He did.
Both of them get hit. The Crimson Guard mitigating a lot of damage, has to time lapse away. They're going to be able to take out Toronto Tokyo easily as Nightfall got the access a little bit more difficult. The call
Rebound.
extremely
Not gonna
important here.
connect. Yeah.
Rebound
Oh, it
hit.
does.
He's got the range.
Oh
They have the
my
vision. Double
God.
kill 23.
All right.
And the Unleash really showing its worth here. And again, the split pushing. They're just trying to do everything they can to delay.
Dire's structures are
Another
But there's
fortification.
counterglyph. Oh, Joachim even rebounding away the siege creep so
Yeah,
it
that's smart.
survives.
Very smart.
under attack.
And then he forgets to tank for it.
Okay, very not smart.
Unfortunate. Doesn't really matter, though.
They get the melee racks at the top. But yeah, backdoor protection's going to be kicking in soon.
Radiant's top
Talent
has fallen.
can't fully commit here. I mean, the death timer still really, it's 27 minutes in the game, so Nightfall will be back relatively shortly.
Yeah, he's going for Sanjin Yasha, anything to try to survive that Berserker's Call on the Weaver. But of course, that does mean when you have to buy
Dire's
this
bottom
item,
tower is under
been
attack.
harping on it quite a bit, but the damage just is not inspiring a lot of confidence in me.
OWS. There's the blade mail initiation. Cuckoo coming nearby. Oh, the Orchid. And he can't get in range for the chop, it seems. WS will be a little sad about that, but the kill on Kiyotaka is still big. 50 seconds on the deck, can't use the boots of travel.
If he sees Mirror here, this could be a secondary kill. The Watcher.
Yeah. Has some leaps available.
He is
Double
slow to
battle
a
hunger.
crawl, though.
Let's get 3 on him. There we go. And nope, no chop. Cuckoo again steals the kill. But meanwhile, the rest of Talon, objective-based gaming. It's Toronto Tokyo with a nice double hook stomp with a stampede to follow. Cuckoo's dead. Lotus actually reflects the ensnare, it looks like, and there's the rebound. They're going to turn this around onto the Naga, just destroyed. 23 Savage with that Spirit Vessel applied. We'll get the tier 3 mid. Storm up in 5 seconds, so Talent playing it safe, playing it disciplined.
Yeah, they're quite low in resources in the Bristle. So
And Roche is up.
They recognize there's a potential risk here where they could get killed on Bristle and perhaps snowballed against in a fight. So I think just returning to the Roche pit and your side of the map slightly is completely fine here. You can tell Aurora are looking for trouble now with the Moonlight Shadow. I mean, 23 Savage is actually very low if they were to check the pit.
Radiant are scanning.
But instead, it's WS waiting here. If anybody were to show...
Oh,
they
hook
find
stomp,
him.
arrow. Yeah, they're going to get him again.
That's a good pick. Comes at the cost of Roche.
Yes, it does. And that's the second Roche of the game. So.
But you were kind of getting this Roche anyway, so it's just a kill. That
Yeah.
essentially is a trade for nothing. It's highly unlikely you could have contested Roche. You would have had to have the read that Bristle is low and you can jump him with Storm and kill him in the pit, so then maybe build a fight around it, but no information
Is under
to really warrant that
triple fire.
risk for Kiyotaka.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, I'm sure Talent, obviously waiting for the axe to come back, but for this second Aegis will likely try to finish the game.
Money to burn.
Feel like they should be able to. Nightfall right now with Dragonlance, Deso, SNY, so status resist obviously very important against the call. And is 1,000 into BKB. I feel like he just doesn't have enough damage though. Then again, he's dying in one call, so
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's tough. It's one of those, when you're this far behind, there's just there's no item that's gonna solve all the problems. You have to choose what's more important. And try to visualize the type of fight that is, let's say the best possible fight for you is a 20% chance to win. You have to itemize and communicate for that play. It still feels bad, but it's the lesser evil. Or at that point here. And I personally don't think BKB is the right choice. I think he has to go all damage and then they have to find a good fight where they open with Centaur. And if he gets caught by a call and loses the game, so be it. Because the alternative buying this BKB is the enemy team just shrugs you off.
Aurora gonna have to do something here. There's a siege unit, so the zips won't really amount to much. It's gonna be a free tier, or free mid lane rather.
Has fallen.
Been a long week here, Cinderin.
Sure has. Next lane. Talon looking for the killing blow and a top 3 finish.
Absolutely.
Radiant structures are
4 smoke from Aurora. This might be the last stand for them. Big zip onto WS, but Kiyotaka can't find the connection. Lotus Orb dissuading them from going any further. Tier 3 bottom taken out. They have to defend here. They have to do something. Where's Nightfall? He just TP'd back. He has no HP. As they find a connection to start thinking about a nice rebound save from Jokum, they're going to apply everything to Kiyotaka. Gets bursted. There's the song, though. He buys back as well. Jokum, BKB ends. They're going to try to take out WS first inside of that Sprout. The Mirana melts, though, to the pressure. WS is actually going to live, it seems, as Toronto Tokyo taking right clicks from afar. Makoto, just too much damage to work with. WS somehow survived throughout all of that. This is going to be Megas for Talon. And now going for the win. There's a buyback for Toronto Tokyo as GGs end up coming out. And into the fountain they go. 23 Savage gets rebound to safety one last time. Talon, top 3, Cinderin. What an amazing